What's up, everybody? Hey, SNA fans. I'm sorry about that. And yeah, I got to admit for tonight's video on the first clip, the first video of this Monday Night Raw review. It was 2.5 hours. Like it's the longest that it's uh, ever been that I made a podcast video with the with the with time limit going either to like 50 minutes to like an hour and a half. Like I thought it would probably stop by an hour and a half. And I was like, I had to make a second quick video, but luckily it lasted for that long. But the only thing I need to do now is talk about the final, the New Day taking on Alpha Academy and what's their names and uh Becky Lynch versus Nia Jackson in a last woman standing match. But anyway, this is where Becky Lynch. This is where, yeah. Also, before I got interrupted by the end of the first video, I also want to say that Becky Lynch said that she will be also the last woman standing at the end of the night, and it's just going to go off the main event WrestleMania against the Eradicator at WrestleMania of 40. Yeah, that's what it is. But this is where it went to New Day, ready for your match against the Alpha Academy, which Otis was getting most of the offense right onto Xavier Woods. Like when Xavier was trying to go for good shots, like when they start off the match, this is where Xavier was trying to go for kick in the gut. This is where he tried to go for a headlock, but this is where Otis Irish whip him Irish whip him right to the bottom corner of ropes. This is where he hits a big thunderous shoulder tackle right onto the 14-time tag team champion. This is where Otis hits his belly right onto Xavier Woods' head and then start tossing him around a bit. And this is where he tags in Akira Tozawa, but Akira Tozawa didn't really do much. This is where he gets super kicked right into the midsection, and Xavier Woods took advantage of this moment of trying to squash Akira Tozawa. This is where he goes for a wrist lock. He tags in the Kofi Kingston. They try to Irish whip him right to the right corner side. I guess they over-intimidated the former cruiserweight champion because Akira Tozawa hangs onto the rope. This is where he kicks both Kofi and Xavier Woods right in the head because they both did the least most smartest move in all of professional wrestling / sports entertainment, and that is a kick right into the head, right, both of these guys right into the face. Right, and this, I'm saying I said that first, but I meant to say like they both were bowing down right into way before he was coming their way. I should say, yeah. And this is where Akira Tozawa didn't hit a right forearm right to the face. This is where Akira Tozawa didn't go for a knee strike right onto Xavier Woods. This is where Kofi Kingston kicks away at the gut Irish whip right here. Right there, even Kofi there trying to go for a flying clothesline right onto what's the name of Akira Tozawa, but he gets the knees up right into his face. This is where he tried to go in the middle rope. Hits a flying mid-rope Hurricane Rana right onto Kofi Kingston. This is where Akira Tozawa didn't and go for a diving crossbody right onto, or not crossbody. It was like a crossbody suicide dive to both New Day members of Kofi and Xavier Woods. He repeatedly did it again. This is where he brought, I believe, Kofi back in the ring because he was the legal man. That's where we got, but this is where we got, Kofi eventually tags in Xavier Woods because, they were going back and forth. Of course they were because they're both babyface tag teams. But this is where he hits a running, what's that called? Shining Wizard kick right onto Xavier Woods when he got in the ring. This is where then Otis and Kofi were trying to ask each other, asked their respective tag partners, I should say. Why said ask each other? That didn't even make any sense. Right, but anyway, they were asking their respective tag partners that were crawling to give them the hot tag. Like, come on, give us a tag fast. This way, they both gave their respective illegal tag partners, made them legal, and gave them the hot tag. And this is where Otis came in, like with Kofi Kingston. This is where Kofi got clobbered by Otis's clothesline into another clothesline. This is where Otis then and picks him back up. This is where he pushes him right into the top corner. Hits a spinning elbow. Let's hope that let's hope that Jericho won't be sending legal papers on to WWE after Otis hit that maneuver, or else, or else Otis will definitely be out of the job by then. Let's hope that that won't be the case and Jericho just let it slide, but something tells me he will. Even though, he's gonna let him know that he's the OG of that spinning elbow maneuver. But anyways, then Otis didn't try to go for a close. Go for the Xavier Woods, but the second time was the charm because as soon as Xavier Woods dug out of that and went to he hit the discus layer, knocking down the former trombone playing New Day member. This is where Kofi Kingston tried to go for a crossbody, but this is where Otis then hit a world's strongest slam right onto Kofi, right into the ring. This is where Otis rips off his Alpha Academy shirt. It only had his onesie on. This is where then Otis started wiggling his belly fat. And then start thrusting himself. And this is where Otis then started going for a caterpillar from coming from the upper right corner. This is where he hits the big elbow drop afterwards. This is where he tried to go for a pin to try to head over to WrestleMania and go for a pin. Kofi, go record only world. He really was cooking the great one, wasn't he? Yeah, he was definitely roasting The Rock in that promo tonight. Thank you for bringing that up in the comments, Miss Tori Blonde. But yeah, appreciate that. And welcome to the SNA podcast. And make sure to subscribe and click the bell notification icon while you're watching this video. If you're interested of doing, only if you are, or if not already. But yeah, I would suggest you to subscribe, if you want to, of course, if you haven't already. But anyways, yeah, that was a pretty good promo line from Cody, even though it seemed like if it was off script and what's that? And he was breaking the fourth wall, even by bringing up the term heel, especially when, especially like WWE has a reputation of not bringing up that in years because it was under Vince McMahon regime, and he does not like that word for some reason, along with babyface. And now since Vince McMahon has been gone, ever since he sold the company to TKO and he resigned, because of the allegations were getting worse with him, and the hush money scandals turned into sex trafficking scandal with one of the female employees speaking out against Vince McMahon and filing a lawsuit against him. He called him a cat, really? How I did not realize that. I'm sorry if I didn't recap that part where he called him a cat. I guess he is a cat in a way, like a 6'6", 265-pound version of Cat in a Hat without the hat. Because some reason The Rock does not like hats. It's been very rare to see the Great One, wear a hat in WWE. I guess that should be his new shtick of him hating. He's the total opposite of Jake Hager from AEW, which Jake Hager loves his hat. Most particular is his purple hat that he wears. He finally got back from Orange Cassidy and Danhausen. Ever since that, because he saved Orange Cassidy. And then as a thank you to Orange Cassidy, in Danhausen, he gave him the hat back. That's a good question. I'll say right now, that's a tough question. I have plenty of favorites from WWE and AEW, but if I had to pick one, just one, my favorite of all time, I'll give it to Cody Rhodes. I'll say at this point of WWE, in current time, I got plenty of favorites. You can just name them, Roman Reigns, Rey Mysterio, John Cena, and Randy Orton definitely as well, and The Undertaker. I'll say Sheamus and who else? I'll say. And even Kofi Kingston at one time, him as a single star, and even held the WWE championship. like favored him too, and also definitely Seth Rollins. He's also been the GOAT as well. Yeah, Jamie Hayter, she's also a pretty great women's wrestler. She's been killed. Too bad she's injured right now. Hopefully she's doing okay, and hopefully she's soon in recovery because it's been nearly a year since she's competed in AEW. Like, ever since that, what kind of injury was it that she suffered, and she had to drop the title to Tony Storm at AEW Double or Nothing? And I'll say my favorite AEW wrestlers that has to be like likes of John Moxley and I'll say maybe Chris Jericho, but also yeah, Bryan Danielson, Eddie Kingston, uh, who else? Even Chris Statlander, Will Nightingale. They're doing pretty good and is a duo right now, like against Julia Hart and Sky Blue. Shoulder injury. Thank you so much, Tori Blonde. Yeah, it was a shoulder injury. I heard it from a fellow YouTuber that it was. I just couldn't remember right now because I have so much in my mind to talk about this and then getting ready for my next videos like wrestling news tomorrow and then also NXT review and stuff. I was trying to keep things up because there's so much wrestling, like my fellow wrestling homies, fellow wrestling YouTube homie Simon Miller would say. But yeah, I pretty much like most of the wrestlers from right now. I guess I got a variety of favorite wrestlers, but number one right now goes to Cody. But yeah. But anyways, back to the review video. This is where we got Otis. I don't know if I ever. I would say not really meet him. I've seen plenty of wrestlers in person, like the likes of Kevin Owens and Bianca Belair, and even Austin Theory and R-Truth, Matt Riddle, and Dolph Ziggler before they left, like at a live event I went to. But I would say I really met any of the wrestlers. No, let alone getting their autographs. But I really need to get that. The number one thing I need to do next as a wrestling fan. But back to the wrestling news review. Or not the news, the wrestling review video. This is where we got, next up we got but anyway, this is where we got, Akira Tozawa. This is where Otis then try to go for a splat, but Kofi Kingston flips roll out of the way. This is where Akira Tozawa tags himself in the match. This is where Otis tried to dive onto Kofi, but Kofi dodged out of the way. This is where we got Akira Tozawa, my apologies, did a crossbody. This is where he hits try to go for a right hand onto the Xavier Woods, but Xavier Woods, he Irish whipped Kofi right into the corner. Like, this is where Xavier Woods tags himself in the match. This is where he tried to attack Xavier Woods. This is where Xavier Woods didn't try to go for. Not Akira Tozawa attacked Xavier Woods, but he was unsuccessful because Xavier Woods hit a right hand, countered, hit a right hand of his own, and it goes for that slingshotted springboard tornado DDT maneuver. Oh yeah, and also I never got a chance to speak to the wrestlers, but yeah, I need to go to meet and greets and ask plenty of questions. I'm still trying to work on trying to be a very successful podcaster, so I can do video calls and interview them and ask them the questions there. But I think it'll be more better just to meet them in person and go to like either wrestling conventions or meet and greets to get their autographs and ask them plenty of questions, but be positive at the same time of their time as what it's like to being a WWE or AEW star, and also where it all began, like where it all began and what's their reason of becoming a professional wrestler in the first place, and what's their favorite thing as a wrestler. But anyways, we got Xavier Woods going right up on the top rope. This is where he tried to go for that springboard. What's that? That sideways springboard elbow drop right onto the Akira Tozawa. But Akira Tozawa then punched him right into the midsection. This is where he tried to go for a suplex right onto Xavier Woods. This is where he tried to go for a suplex. This is where Xavier Woods then started going for a midsection right onto